And notice how you get quarters enabled over here. So we have seen how to do drilling from year to quarter. We have done sorting. We have sorted on region. And similarly, we have sorted on profit. Then we have seen how to swap between rows and columns by using the move to columns or move to rows option, or you can drag and drop in the edit visualization pane. This is again the same thing, moving to rows, moving to columns, and then moving to the beginning or moving to the right or to the left. Then we also have seen how to do totals. We saw the totals for a category that was there on the grid, but it didn't have totals, and then we added region and we saw how to get totals for that. We looked at maximizing a visualization and restoring that maximization. Then we saw two important functions, that is keep only, which filters out data in that specific visualization. Whatever you select in the filter, it doesn't affect the filters, it's just local to that visualization. Then keep only is to keep that data, and exclude is to eliminate that specific data. Now, let's go back to thresholds. Before that, anything on this? Any questions? Okay. Moving back to thresholds. So let's go back. I'm on page 81 in the Word document. So let me maximize this. Okay. Now, over here, we have a threshold on the margin status. Let me close this filter pane for now. I don't require it. Let's add thresholds on units sold. So go ahead and in the metrics, we don't have units sold over here. So let me first drag units sold so that it's visible over here. And I'm going to place it after profit margin. So drag and place it after profit margin. And here you see units sold is has come over here. Now, right click or click on this drop down menu next to units sold and select thresholds. Now this opens up the threshold editor. Here you can select whether you want to see as green, yellow, red, blue, gray, or do you want to see as red, yellow, green, red, orange, green, or do you want to see images? Now, what are the kind of images? By default, it shows arrows. You can select pins, you can select all the images that are being visible over here. These are the various options available. So let's select arrows for now. And now I want to do the thresholds on the units sold, but I don't want to do on any percentage. I want to do on, so you have values, highest, lowest, and highest and lowest percentage. So let us select values for now. So let us set the thresholds value. So what we are going to do is you're going to hover over the one that is defined as red. Once you hover over, you see this text box. Just double click on the top one over here and you should see this box that opens up. Let me repeat. If you hover or if you take your mouse over this top bar over here and just double click, it opens a text box. Let me know if anybody has difficulty in that. By default, it has set a value of 808. So let me change that to, I'm just using my keyboard for entering the values, to 1000 and press enter. Then my next one is going to be for yellow. Let's do 5000 for yellow. So typically, again, hover your mouse and double click and 5000 and press enter. So notice how yellow has gone up to 5000 and now press enter on the keyboard. And what is going to happen over here is your units sold, your metric is going to be replaced by the thresholds, and you will also notice a change in the icon over here. So click OK. There is no change in the icon. I take back that, but you have units sold which is now replaced by the arrows, and it is good, and it's also and there's also a disadvantage to it. The advantage is you get a quick view of where you're heading, but the disadvantage is that you are not able to see the values over here. The only option to that is you create a separate metric, and you do a threshold on that other metric so that you have the original one still in the grid, and you have another column over here which is used as a threshold. Any questions on thresholds? Now, I spoke about inserting a new metric. Let's see how to do it. Let us assume that we didn't have profit in this report, and let's create a new metric called as profit. So first and foremost, I need cost to be available in my grid. So I'm going to drag cost, and I'm going to place it right below revenue. So I have my revenue, I have my cost, and now I'm going to create a metric called as, let's call it calculated profit. So you click on any of the revenue or any of the metric over here, click on the drop down and select new metric, and you're going to new metric, and you're going to select enter formula. So over here, let's call it new metric for now. My formula is now going to be revenue minus cost. So what you can do is you just drag revenue over here and then minus cost. Okay, and if there was a mistake, then it would have shown in red. Click on OK. And notice how you have the new metric, because you selected it from this arrow over here, it directly goes and places it next to revenue. So I want to put it next after cost. So let's call it over here, put it over here. I'm going to call this, now I want to rename this. Either you go ahead and you can edit this metric over here, and you can give it a new name over here. The other option is rename. So let me call this calculated profit. Okay, now I have my calculated profit that's got added to the metrics as well as the grid. Now let's put a number format to this. Oh, what happened? Okay. What's happening? Let me try editing it. Probably it'll save that. This is a little weird. I've not seen this behavior before. Okay, so somehow it's not liking the renaming over here. So let's use the edit method to rename this metric. And since it's a calculation that you did in the dashboard over here, notice how the icon for this metric is different than the other icon. So you have if that's a ruler, and you have the FX alphabets. FX stands for function. So let's change the format. So click on this and number format, and you can choose. You can either customize it, or now I know profit, so let me use currency. And if you want more decimals, or if you don't want decimals. And notice how the dollar sign has come in front of profit. So going back to the slides. We have seen how to do thresholds. We have chosen a specific format of the threshold. We have set the values for thresholds, both for the red and yellow. And we have learned how to insert new metrics. We have entered a formula. We have given it a formula as revenue minus cost. We have renamed the metric. Before I move on to module 5, are there any questions on this?